Hi everyone, I am Isaiah, and this is my first video, and I just want to do a quick kind of Studio Ghibli related video here. So with this video, I basically just want to show off a few items in my collection that I have gotten over the past couple of years related to Ghibli that are maybe a little more obscure or that haven't really been released in the US. Just some imported items that maybe as a Studio Ghibli fan you're not aware of yet. So I collect a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff. They're like my favorite anime studio for sure. Probably like my favorite, just like artistic entity. So I have, obviously like all the movies. I have some extra stuff. I have all the art books that are like on the bottom shelf. I have like all the storyboards, CDs. I try to cover all the bases with it. So yeah, but in this video, I'm not going to do an extensive kind of walk through there. I'm just going to show off, I have 5 items here that are kind of more obscure, again, like imported things that people may not know about. And this is just to maybe bring some attention to them because I wasn't aware of them for the longest time, but they're pretty good. I would recommend, depending on if you're into like the specific sort of stuff they're relating to. But yeah, I'll just show those off here and talk about like where you can get them, maybe what's in them, that kind of thing. So I'll start here with a book that I just found out about like a couple months ago, and I bought it from Amazon Japan. I just saw a listing on there. So this is a Yoichi Kotabe art book, and he was an animator on a lot of like the earlier like pre-Ghibli work, like Horus and Heidi, and he did animation and character designs for Heidi, I know. And he also was the guy, I'm pretty sure he also did the kind of original, or not the original, but like the more iconic character design for Mario. I guess he was at Nintendo at that point. But, so yeah, this one has a lot of stuff from, yeah, again, like pre-Ghibli stuff that Takahata and Miyazaki were on. So I'll try to show you some examples here. So that's from Horus. Again, I haven't really gotten into it that much yet, so I can't say like specifically what credits he had on each of these. I'm pretty sure he did character designs on Heidi. This looks like Animal Treasure Island there. But he was like, yeah, a very important animator for a lot of those earlier projects. I guess he did like character designs for Pippi Longstocking, the kind of conceptualized show with Takahata and Miyazaki. There's also an art book with like Pippi Longstocking conceptual art that's also pretty cool. And then yeah, obviously like Heidi stuff, which is kind of the main draw for me, as that's one of the ones I've seen so far. I mean, I've seen Horus as well. But yeah, like character designs, kind of just character art they have. They have designs for Marco, or 3,000 Leagues in Search of Mother, or Apennines to the Andes. Take your pick with the localized title. Yeah, so some really good, like, colored, I guess, character art, like promotional kind of key art. Like that one is actually, we'll be seeing that one in a little bit here. So yeah, so this book's, it's pretty lengthy, and it has a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't know if it has interviews or anything per se. It has and the nice thing about this edition actually is it has a translated, this is like an introduction, or just piece of writing by Takahata about him, and it's translated in English, which is quite nice. And it has, yeah, just there's an introduction from him. It has some photos from kind of that era. Puss in Boots as well has art from. So yeah, obviously not an extensive flip through or anything, but just getting an idea of, if you're interested in kind of that pre-Ghibli, the works of that era of like the 70s and 80s sort of stuff that they were working on beforehand. This is a really good one. It is pretty expensive. This was like $100, in total with the conversion and shipping and everything. But it's a really nice edition. It has like this cloth kind of sewn sort of back, which is really nice like gold lettering there. It's a really nice product. So again, if you're into like that earlier era, I would definitely recommend that if that's your thing. So next up, I think I'm gonna try to do this kind of chronologically. So the next thing I have is a couple documentaries. So there's actually a lot of Ghibli documentaries that they've put on disc over the years. If you have like the standard G-Kids set of US Blu-rays, or even maybe the Disney stuff, they put a few documentaries on those discs, quite a few actually, which is nice. But there's also a bunch more that they put out in Japan, like independently on disc, which again I only found out about a few years ago. So I've tried to get as many of those as I can. That's what most of those are. So one of these that I've gotten, which is a really nice, one of them that I've actually went through so far that I've enjoyed, is this kind of like double pack DVD set of Journey of the Heart is the translation, and it's two 45-minute documentaries from the mid-90s. Yeah, I believe so. I think it's like 97, 98, where these are from. And one is about Takahata as he travels to Canada and meets Frederick Bach, the French-Canadian animator, and just goes to some others. He goes to Prince Edward Island, where Anne of Green Gables is based off of, obviously, and goes to some sites around there that the series took inspiration from, which is cool. He also visits like in Western Canada, like a native, like indigenous tribe, and it goes into some detail about that. So it's kind of like a travel log sort of style, which is cool. And then the one with Miyazaki is he is in what country? He goes over to a few countries. It starts in France, I guess, like Paris. he's following the I have his book here. I can't pronounce his name. The author who wrote The Little Prince. He kind of like traces his air route over the again, I forget what the area is called, like by the Mediterranean, and he ends up in the Sahara. Again, I'm a little iffy on that. But yeah, so it follows his kind of just trip there during that time, and you're like in the airplane with him, and he's looking out and everything. Yeah, that one's really good. So it's a really nice just double feature behind the scenes sort of. If you just want to see these two guys going out and seeing stuff, which I do. This is a good one. And the great thing about this, it kind of varies depending on what DVDs you get, but this one is subbed. It's in English, and you're probably familiar with this already because both of them are uploaded to YouTube as like Journey of the Hearts, Isao Takahata. That they come up a lot in like recommended. But the YouTube video quality is not nearly as good as the DVD ones. So this is definitely the way to go, I would say. So that's a plus. I also got this from Amazon Japan, like used, and it also was like, 100, total and everything. So I'm a little, I spend a lot on this stuff because it's kind of my thing. So I understand if that's not your bag, especially if they're free on YouTube, regardless of the quality. But if you're in this deep, this is maybe something to consider as well. And also like the other documentaries, like I said, if you're interested in that. Oh, I guess I didn't go chronologically with this next one, but I'll do it next anyway. This is the other like disc related one that I have. So as you can see, I have a few Japanese, they call it memorial box sets for the World Masterpiece Theater series, which are really nice. I could go into those, but those are like the more well-known ones, even if they don't have releases in the US yet. Future Point Conan does now. But one that I found available is like I mentioned, Marco, from the Apennines to the Andes. Again, it could be either title. But this is a memorial DVD box set from Japan, and it's quite nice. It is only DVD. The series is, I don't think preserved very well. Even the video quality on the DVDs is not fantastic. The scan is like really, something with the source was, it wasn't maintained that well, I guess, but yeah, it's a nice, pretty kind of standard DVD set. This one does not have subs, and none of these have subs, the memorial box sets, but the difference with this one and why, I would recommend this one even more than those is that these don't even have fan subs to my knowledge, and I've tried looking for them, believe me, but yeah, or the ones that I have found have been like machine translated or something. They're just not good at all, in the video quality from like the rips you get is not yeah, and even they don't even have a complete like set of episodes. I could only find like the first 1 or 2 episodes or something. So you basically can't find it online from what I've seen. So this is as good as it gets, even if it isn't subbed. I haven't gone through it yet, but I will eventually, and just like watch it I'll watch it raw. I'll do what I need to do. I'll pick up on what I can, but that's the kind of sometimes that's the way you got to go with those kind of things. So something else for considering. Those are quite expensive with the Blu-ray box sets. That one was less so since it's just a DVD. It was still not cheap, but yeah. Next, kind of trying to hit all the mediums here. We have this is a weird one. I didn't know about this until, you know, I mean, I've been into Ghibli for like a decade now or something. I just found out about this a couple years ago. So this is CD, and it is this is a weird one. It's kind of hard to describe. So this is like okay, related to Whisper of the Heart, which is my like tied for my favorite, you know, Ghibli thing. I'd say it's probably their best one, in my opinion. But so this is a like CD that contains tracks of the main voice actor, the Japanese voice actor of Shizuku, reciting poetry, along with like some musical, I guess like over musical cues and stuff. So that's, I mean, that's already, I'm sold already, but apparently the poetry was also written by Miyazaki, who obviously like wrote and boarded the film. So this is kind of just like a extra sort of disc, product. I had to find this used from like some French store on Amazon, Amazon Japan. It was pretty expensive for like a CD, but I mean, Whisper of the Heart's my favorite, so of course I'll be willing to drop anything on anything related to that. So yeah, that's a pretty obscure one, I would imagine, to most people. So that's something else if that's also your favorite. And then lastly, I'm getting a little tired. This is my first video I've recorded. So, lastly, bringing us into the 2000s with Ghibli, we have a Gero Senki, or Tales from Earthsea, like illustration / poetry book again. And this one has like I guess like concept drawings or just like sketches from Goro, along with poetry from, I guess, from the film. I would assume this includes Teru's song as well, but I think this also just has like poetry about, again, I haven't like gone through and translated it yet, but I'm assuming about like people and places and stuff, kind of poetic treatment akin to like what Miyazaki did with like Mononoke. There's stuff in, I think, Starting Point with Mononoke, or was that Turning Point that Mononoke starts? One of those. So yeah, just like drawings and poetry. Again, kind of a side, obscure little like book they put out, but the drawings are really nice, and I won't get into it in this video, but I'm a big fan of Tales from Earthsea. I think all of Goro's projects are great. You know, I think he's a really good director. Despite what literally every single person says. You know, it's him against the world, it seems like a lot of the time. But yeah, so those are all the items I have here. I have a lot more. You know, I've covered the whole gambit. I mean, there's more stuff I'm getting, but that's a couple of like the most, maybe more obscure ones or things I didn't know about until more recently. Again, those are all like import stuff. I mean, I guess you could probably find the Tales from Earthsea one I got on eBay, so I think that one's a little easier to find. But yeah, if you're really into the whole Ghibli physical media game and you want to go beyond like the basic, you know, Blu-ray line, I mean, there's probably like just more basic places to start before this, like just soundtrack CDs, like the Viz, art book, stuff like that. But if you're like really down the rabbit hole and you're looking for more stuff, maybe those are a couple suggestions there. So that's all I have for this video. I hope that showed you something you didn't know, and I'll probably make a few more Ghibli related videos in the future. So I'm not great at like landing the plane, as you can probably see, but I'll just say, yeah. Thanks.